Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Tyler, and today we are finally going to be going over part 3 of What If Shallow was canon. It's been 3 months since we've dived into this what if, so I've decided to bring it back. But before we start off, quick shout out goes to Diamond Legend. Please sub to the guy, man. Get my boy to 1K, link in the description. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get right into the video. In the last part, we had Goku defeating Frieza and crashing on planet Yardra, while Shallout and the remaining Z fighters were teleported back to Earth. Like in the original, over the course of 1 year, Yamcha and Tien and Chaozu would be revived. King Cold would find Frieza's body and decides to make parts for Frieza so he could finally take his revenge on Goku. We then skip to 1 year, or age 764 to be exact, and the Earthlings sense King Cold and Frieza arriving on Earth. The Earthlings would fly to Frieza and King Cold, but stop to keep their distance since they stand no chance against Frieza. However, Shallout would be the only one who goes up to Frieza and King Cold personally. King Cold would laugh, saying how this Saiyan has guts to show his face to the Cold Emperor, but Shallout isn't buying this nice talk. He would power up and say that he's gotten stronger and he won't let him and Frieza destroy their world. A man in a red hood would appear exiting the ship. He would look at Shallout, then back at King Cold. King Cold would then signal him and would then say, "Finish him." As this happens, the man in red would go and attack Shallout. Him and Shallout seem to be even, at least in base to base. Shallout attempts to power up into his humanoid Ozaru form, but the man in red isn't letting this happen. And so because of this, Shallout would be struggling against the man in red. Piccolo sees Shallout in danger and decides to try and assist him. When he goes to help Shallout, a death beam would be fired in his direction. He dodges the beam barely, and as he dodges it, King Cold shouts at him, "If you dare try and interfere, I will kill you in a heartbeat." At this point, Trunks arrives and kicks the man in red to the ground, saving Shallout. King Cold and Frieza would be curious about this man and where he came from. But Trunks is only here for Goku and wants to get to business. The man in red would try and sneak attack Trunks, but Shallout would interfere, and as he interferes with the man in red's attack, he would tell Trunks that Goku isn't here. Trunks understands that he went back in time a little bit earlier than expected, so that's why Goku isn't here. Shallout would kick away the man in red until he powers up into his humanoid great ape state, while the man in red powers up with a black aura surrounding him. Shallout would go for a punch, thinking he's able to overpower him now, but he would be mistaken. The man in red catches Shallout's fist easily. This surprises Shallout, and as this happens, the man in red would kick Shallout in the stomach, saying that the humanoid great ape form is something that he's familiar with and that he's not going to get the jump on him with that. This shocks Shallout, as he's surprised to see another Saiyan live and well. He would see an opening to attack, so the man in red would punch Shallout, making him cough up spit. He would pin Shallout on the ground, saying that, "First I thought you were someone who just looked like him, but it appears I was wrong. You really are the real one, aren't you, Shallout?" Shallout's eyes would widen as he questions the man in red how does he know his name. Meanwhile, Trunks and Frieza like in the original fight, and by fight I mean have Trunks clown on him. Trunks would cut Frieza in half like in the original, and King Cold would just want to retreat and would order his bodyguard to withdraw from fighting Shallout and to get on board on the ship, because they don't want nothing to do with Trunks. However, Trunks isn't letting King Cold escape and basically has him pinned to the ground. The man in red, after proceeding to body Shallout, walks away from Shallout, knowing that Shallout isn't going to really do anything to try and stop him. But before this happens, Shallout would shout out, "You're not going to get away with this. I swear we'll hunt you down and we'll beat you, just like how we beat Frieza back on Namek." The man in red begins to laugh, and he would pull down his hood as he turns around to look at Shallout. "It appears that you have a soft side for this planet, brother. Too bad you never had a soft side for me, as you abandoned me all those years ago, thinking that I was dead. You probably forgot about me, didn't you?" Shallout would be in a complete state of shock, saying, "Giblet, I thought you were dead? Gone? Oh yeah, right. You know why I even got in that situation? Because you abandoned me all those years ago. It was never like that, Giblet." "Yes, it was, Shallout. You know you left me in the dust. Thank God I got out alive thanks to King Cold. If he and his reinforcements hadn't showed up, I would have been gone. Anyways, I have bigger issues. Peace out, brother." He would then shoot a ki blast right in front of Shallout's face, sending him flying and reverting Shallout into an unconscious state. As this happens, Giblet would sneak attack Trunks as he's pinning King Cold to the ground, getting ready to finish him, blasting a hole through Trunks and reverting him into his base form. This would give Giblet and King Cold enough time to retreat back into their ship and head back to their home base, with the intent to gather reinforcements and head back to Earth and finish the Earthlings once and for all. Piccolo, after witnessing the damage being done to Trunks and Shallot, would head to Korin's tower, getting a couple senzu beans, flying back down to Earth and healing Trunks and Shallot in time before they die or something like that. Piccolo definitely is fast enough to do this. Anyways, with that out of the way, Trunks and Shallot would then revert back to consciousness, and with this, Trunks would explain to the gang that he's waiting for Goku and that he needs to tell Goku something, and he knows his location and stuff like that, so they would be waiting for Goku. While they wait for Goku, Piccolo would interrogate Shallot about Giblet, because remember, Namekians do have very good hearing. I'm pretty sure Piccolo wasn't too far by listening to Shallot and Giblet, and I'm pretty sure he would have heard Giblet say the term brother to Shallot. Shallot would then reveal that he and Giblet are in fact twins. Vegeta would comment about it and saying how Giblet was actually on his squad with Nappa, Raditz, and Shallot. However, Giblet, well, they thought Giblet died on a mission, but apparently he's alive. Most of you are probably asking this question to yourself right now. Who is Giblet? How did he end up with King Cold? What really happened with him? Well, your questions will be answered right now because we are going to be getting into a flashback. Kid Vegeta, Young Nappa, and Kid Raditz, and Kid Shallot, and Kid Giblet are on a planet with dangerous life and are trying to conquer the world and defeat the dangerous creatures on it. It is a mission for Lord Frieza. Kid Shallot and Kid Giblet were heavily injured. Vegeta and Nappa and Raditz knew they got ahead of themselves and they could not complete the mission without backup. Vegeta and Raditz and Nappa managed to get aboard their space pods and leave the planet while Shallot and Giblet are still looking for their pods. Eventually, Shallot and Giblet would find their pods. However, Giblet, after giving it a little bit of a closer inspection, he would find his pod to be destroyed. Giblet would tell Shallot that he and Shallot should go inside the one pod, but Shallot would tell him that it's only big enough for himself. The dangerous creatures start ganging up on Shallot, and Giblet is just begging Shallot not to leave him, but with the last hesitant thought, he pressed the button to close the door and fly away, leaving Giblet. Shallot basically left Giblet to die, but he had no other choice. Now, Giblet never really thought of it like that, and Giblet just sees it as Shallot completely betraying him and leaving him in the dust, and Giblet will never forget this. We then skip to around when the Saiyan saga occurs. Now, King Cold and his squad actually heard rumors about this planet basically a long time ago where the Saiyans actually failed against it, and Frieza just basically forgot all about it because literally immediately after, he goes on to destroy planet Vegeta. King Cold thinks of this planet as the only planet that hasn't been conquered in the name of Lord Frieza or King Cold. And so King Cold is going to basically make that happen and basically conquer the planet in the name of King Cold. When King Cold and his soldiers decide to go and conquer the planet, the dangerous creatures would actually overwhelm the soldiers. However, King Cold is completely unfazed by their power. The monster's power levels are only like at an average of 2,500. He is surprised at the fact that these dangerous creatures already scaled above his soldiers, and now that means that he's going to have to do the work and carry this mission, even though King Cold doesn't really like to do that. He'd rather have his soldiers do it for him. However, his soldiers can't do it for him, and so King Cold decides to basically carry the mission and body all the dangerous creatures. However, when one starts charging it at King Cold and King Cold's ready to finish it off, someone finishes it off before King Cold can. It's Giblet. Now, I feel like Giblet would kind of have like a Broly aesthetic thing before he like met Frieza, basically looking like a whole caveman. Giblet would then kneel down at King Cold saying, "I thought everyone forgot about me. I'm glad you were able to find me, Lord King Cold." Lord King Cold would be very confused. However, Giblet would explain his story. After King Cold understands this, he would then decide to recruit Giblet and basically say to Giblet that you're not going to be a part of the Frieza Force anymore. You're going to be a part of my personal army. You know what? You could probably lead my squad. My squad already can't even handle one of these creatures. However, you were able to successfully kill one in one hit? You have potential, kid. Me and you, with our power and might and our leadership, we can conquer the entire universe. Not in the name of Lord Frieza, but in the name of King Cold. King Cold would just be saying all of this to get inside of Giblet's head, and it's actually working because remember, Giblet's last moments of interaction with a human being was basically his brother leaving him to die. Obviously, he would idealize King Cold's entire thing of taking over the universe because he was the one who saved him, so he has some sort of respect for him. And so, he would be behind King Cold, following his orders and becoming his personal bodyguard. We then skip to when Mecha Frieza is born. King Cold would introduce Frieza to his bodyguard Giblet, and Giblet would introduce himself to Frieza, being the Saiyan that was long ago thought to be dead, but is actually alive from that dangerous mission. Giblet would basically explain the whole situation to him, and Frieza would actually tell him that Shallot is actually on Earth, or is affiliated with this Earthling, so he's assuming that he could be on Earth. And so this interests Giblet, and so Giblet, King Cold, and Mecha Frieza decide to head to Earth to finish Goku, and Giblet personally wants to finish off Shallot. And so, that would basically be the story of Giblet. Anyways, the flashback is over, now let's head back to our present timeline. Eventually, Goku would arrive, and like in the original, Trunks would warn Goku privately about the androids, would scrap with him, but actually lose, and he would give Goku the heart medicine, but before he leaves, Shallot would confront him and Goku, and tell them that they should go and stop King Cold. He wants to speak to his brother about some things, and not to mention, it's King Cold, who is someone who could be an opposing threat later. Goku would say how he learned a new technique, and they could go to King Cold, but he would have to power up for it. Shallot would ask Trunks if he could come and stop King Cold with them, but Trunks would say that he's only here for Goku and apologizes. Remember, Trunks doesn't want to cause a butterfly effect or something. Anyways, future Trunks would leave, and Shallot would say to Goku that he and Goku should go and track down King Cold, but Goku would say that he doesn't know where he is specifically, and it's going to take a little bit for him and Shallot to find him. Vegeta would step in and say that he does know where he is, and if he had to guess where King Cold was, he would be on Frieza Planet 779, which is King Cold's main headquarters. Piccolo and the others decide to stay back as he believes Goku, Shallot, and Vegeta would be enough, and they are the three strongest after all, and that if they need help, King Cold can address it to them, and they can use the Dragon Balls to teleport to Goku, Shallot, and Vegeta and assist them. And so, Goku, Shallot, and Vegeta decide to go after King Cold. As this happens, Piccolo would tell the Z Fighters about the android threat and the fact that they need to train. Goku, Vegeta, and Shallot would teleport to a completely different planet, and Goku would say to Vegeta, "Is this it?" Vegeta would say, yes, this is it. Frieza Planet 779. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. Now, thank you guys for being patient for part 3. I know it's been like 3 months. It's been a hot minute. But I decided to get this out for you guys since I know a lot of you have been wanting it. Thank you guys for watching. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it because YouTube notifications tend to fuck up sometimes. With that out of the way, be sure to follow my Twitter, Tyler_, link in the description. And finally, with that out of the way, go sub to my boy Diamond. He needs that 1K, bro. He's been grinding, bro. Just go subscribe to him. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get up out of here. Peace out. Bye.